Assalamu alaikum. I'm so excited today because today we're going to be talking about Nafīsa al-Ṭāhira. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy upon her and be pleased with her as an educator. I've been an educator, I don't know, maybe my whole life. I started to teach in different places even before I was a Muslim at around 13 years of age. So education is really important to me and teaching is really important to me. And when I think about teaching, I think about not only teaching a topic or teaching knowledge, but also tarbiyah, also upbringing, also helping someone apply their learning, grow in their learning, change in their learning, grow a relationship to that learning. And Nafīsa al-Ṭāhira teaches us in so many ways what it means to be an educator. Today I just have one story for you, although I'm sure there are hundreds of stories, many of them unknown. But we do know that one of her students was Muhammad Idris al-Shafi'i, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with him, and that when he came to Egypt, Nafīsa al-Ṭāhira was already there. And yet he began to learn from her, and a relationship of respect and student, teacher, and mentorship began to develop. And subhanAllah, Imam al-Shafi'i would pray tarawih, and Nafisa would pray behind him for all of Ramadan. And yet he would stop at her house to ask questions. He would ask for her prayer. He would ask for her barakah. We even know that when he couldn't make it, for whatever reason, to stop at her house, he couldn't make it to her house from illness. He did spend many of the last years of his life quite ill. He would send someone to ask for her dua. And here there is a learning, there's an education about dua that both Nafīsa al-Ṭāhira is teaching Imam al-Shafi'i and teaching us. And that is, he would send someone and the person would say, your cousin Shafi'i, this is a Arabic expression, is sick and requests your dua. So she would raise her hands and say, Ya Allah, cure Imam al-Shafi'i, and make dua for him. They would go back and find that Imam al-Shafi'i had been cured of whatever was ailing him that day. Lessons about dua, lessons about piety, lessons about an answered dua, lessons about the relationship between scholars, lessons about how we should be making dua for one another, our brothers and our sisters, uplifting one another, teaching one another, growing one another, uplifting this community. Ya Rabb, make us of those like Nafīsa al-Ṭāhira and Imam al-Shafi'i, who respect one another, are not in competition with one another, but are respecting and uplifting the work of each other. SubhanAllah. She also, we know, I mentioned in an earlier video, that the governor of Egypt eventually expanded her home. As an educator, people were coming all the time, and she didn't have space. And so he gave her a larger space so that the dozens and hundreds and continuously increasing numbers of students could fit into the space that she was teaching. Now, this reminds me of the growth of the work of our winner today. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with her. How Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses women and men from amongst us at different times to teach and grow and help our community come back to where we need to be in that equilibrium of knowledge. Our winner today, nominated numerous times, mashallah, by many of her beloved students, I'm sure, is Dr. Farhat Hashmi. Now, if you don't know who Dr. Farhat Hashmi is, I ask you to take a seat, grab yourself, I won't say a cup of tea because it's Ramadan, but take a seat and listen to this story. Dr. Farhat Hashmi is originally from Pakistan. She got her PhD and began teaching in Pakistan at the International Islamic University of Islamabad, teaching Usul al-Din, teaching and also teaching women and she was teaching women to come back to Allah, to women of dunya, we might say, women who had forgotten the tradition of the Prophet ﷺ, the tradition of Quran, come back to the Quran. She taught Quran in interesting ways with new methodologies. And pretty soon she had so many women listening to her that she was actually asked to leave Pakistan. Breaks my heart to think that a woman who is teaching other women to worship is asked to leave, subhanAllah. Whatever the circumstances about that were, she went to Canada, where she resided in Mississauga and continued to teach. In fact, established an institution called Al-Huda Institute in Toronto or Mississauga, Canada, where she has been teaching thousands of women in Urdu mostly, but also in English, thousands of women, the Quran, how to apply the Quran, how to memorize the Quran, word for word translation and understanding of the Quran. I've met many of her students. I have not met Dr. Farhat Hashmi, but I have met many of her students, and I have seen in their eyes their appreciation of her teaching, their appreciation of her opening the door for them to the Quran, opening the door for them to working on the Quran and growing their hearts in the Quran and in their deen, mashallah. This institution, Al-Huda, she actually originally founded it in Pakistan in 1994, mashallah, mashallah. And it became established in Canada as well in 2004. It is said that she has a non-traditional teaching style, that she has command of English, Arabic, and Urdu, mashallah. And so her audience is able to interact with her in whatever language it is that they need, mashallah. She has introduced innovative and some of the latest techniques into her Institute of Education. She also began her career on television as a preacher on Geo Television, where she hosted something called Shahrul Ramadan, a program called Shahrul Ramadan. And she also joined a program called The Quran and You on another television station. She also gave lectures on tafsir of the Quran in another show called Fahm al-Quran. MashaAllah. Dr. Farhat Hashmi makes us all proud in the work that she's doing and the women that she's helping and bringing Quran back to the lives of people like Nafīsa al-Ṭāhira, helping women not only learn Quran, not only understand the Quran, but also live the Quran. Congratulations to you, Dr. Farhat Hashmi. You are a Nafisa of our time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you and bless you and increase you. And we at Rabata are also working to bring Islamic knowledge to you, especially at the Ribaat Institute. If you have not checked out our classes at the Ribaat Institute yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. We have courses in different tracks. We have Seerah, History, Aqidah, Fiqh, writing, speaking, teaching skills, and others, and beautiful classes about purifying your heart, classes about what is it called? Foundations, Flounderings in Faith. I teach it and I can't remember the title. Foundations, Flounderings in Faith. Classes that help us to answer the questions in our heart. Classes that help us get over doubt and classes that help us delve deeply into Islamic knowledge. I'm teaching a class right now in this springtime, in spring 2022, about Islamic history that is delving into the Muslim women scholars of our history. Join us for our classes and increase your knowledge, increase your ways of attachment to this faith, increase your knowledge, increase your ability to be confident in religion, to live religion like Nafīsa al-Ṭāhira. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with her. Yes, and you can also join us by donating to rabata.kindful.com. We are looking for $22 a month donors, and you can be part of this movement. Even if you yourself are not ready to take classes, your donation will help someone else take a class. We also have a scholarship program. If you'd like to donate to the scholarship program, it's really helpful, especially to new converts who want to take classes but cannot do it financially. Though our classes are affordable, subhanAllah, they're not affordable for everyone. And so your scholarship is helpful to every single person who comes to our program and wants to study. Until today, we've never had to say no to anyone. Your scholarship donation helps make sure that that continues. You can go to rabata.kindful.com to donate either to the monthly donation campaign or the scholarship campaign or a one-time donation. Thank you so much. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. Assalamu alaikum.